Welcome back to my channel. My name is Favor. Um, Today I'm going to talk about how I found out that my mother was my grandmother, and the person I called my sister was my mother. Unfortunately, I found out about that secret, you know, by the time my mother was already passed on. So um, yeah, it was heartbreaking. It was very, very, hurtful, and it was not nice. It was not nice. My world turned upside down because of that. And it's a very long story. I'm gonna try to put it, into series, you know. Otherwise, I'll make a long video whereby you won't even understand what I'm saying. Popular one. So, I was being raised by my grandmother. I thought she was my mother, and I was being mistreated, and I didn't understand why. And even my siblings, which was my aunt, whom I thought was my sister, my uncle, whom I thought was my brother. You know, uh, Nobody liked me in the house. At home where I grew up, I was not being liked. Like in my previous video, I explained to you why um, God gave me another name, which is Favor. I was being given a name, Ha'aradu, which means not loved, and I was not, receiving any love in that household. Nobody even liked me, you know. I remember as I was growing up, when my grandmother, you know, there was a standard that I failed, a grade that I failed at school, and she didn't want me to go back to school, and she set my uniform on fire and the books, and truly speaking, I wanted to go back to school. I wanted to do better in everything. It was so hard for me. It was so hard because since I was little, I'm a person who's a hard worker, even in the household, and I could see that, why she didn't want me to go to school. It's because she wanted me to do the washing for everybody in the house, cook for everyone, clean the house, be a maid in the house. That's what she wanted me to be or to do, and yeah, that is my story. How I found out that she was my grandmother, not my mother. The neighbors, they used to tell me, "Hey, you look like so and so. You even walk like her. You look like her, and everything." And I didn't take it too hard. I thought it's because she's my sister, And by that time, as I was growing, gradually I was growing, and I remember I used to go to a prophet. There was another man, in our village where I was staying, and I went there, and this man told me that I'm supposed to be a prophet, and I must ask my mother, what is my surname, but he told me, yeah, now he told me that, your mother is so and so and so, your father is so and so, but go and ask your grandmother. He said, grandmother, you know, where you come from, who are you? He wanted to hear from her, so that he can prepare stuff for me, things for me, because of he couldn't, help me ka surname ya ko gae. I was supposed to be helped ka surname where I'm coming from. So that was that was how I found out, but she denied everything. She said, no, you are my child, blah 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 blah, and everything. And the journey continued. As we were growing, it was me, my brother who comes after me, and my younger sister. We were three from my mother, who has been deceased. It's been a while, it's been a long time she deceased. When she died, I was 9 years old. I still remember how she loved me. I still remember everything about her. But yeah, I thought in a little ratola, my sister, she loved me, that I know. I remember when we were growing up, we used to go to this house. This house, it's where my father, it's ke kwa bo papaka, at my father's house. When we were little, we used to go there, and my grandmother would, give us food, give us everything we wanted, and money, and we'll stay there with other cousins, and we'll play, and later we'll come back home. Every weekend, my grandmother will send us there in that household, to go and check them and everything and come back. And another thing, this grandmother of mine, before she died, I remember I was all grown by that time. I was already married by that time, and she was sick, and I went to her place, to her house, and my aunt from my father's side asked her, do you know her? And she said, yes, I know her. Who is she? That's my aunt asking her, Kemang. And she answered, from her deathbed, she said, she's my son's daughter. There were so many signs, there were so many answers that I got, but I wanted to hear from my grandmother herself telling me that, and she didn't. She went to the grave with the truth. And, after she died, the family was now free to tell me the truth. Or no, your mother is so and so, that one was your grandmother. I got so many confirmations and everything. So at the same time, I don't know where does the name Ha'arato comes from. Who didn't love me and why? I still don't know. But all I know is that my God loves me. My God loves me unconditionally. Unconditionally. That's it for now. See you on my next video. Bye.